It's Monday. I don't know if it has something to do with it, but I haven't done a whole lot. Despite the fact that I've been trying. Caught me dropping the washer into the underneath the table saw and having to fish that out, which took 20 minutes. And I'm working on this boat over here that is getting new windows. And Randy is, he's already rebuilt all the window tracks. But what I'm doing is just helping him put the windows in. And it's a lot harder job than I thought it was. But I think we're both kind of surprised at how long it's taking. So I've been working on this window since early February. Randy's been working on, we're laughing about it because it's a long time ago, and Randy's been working on this boat since what? End of October? Something like that. So he's done all this that you see. I actually had this window in at one time, but we decided it wasn't quite right, so we took it out. And in the process of taking it out, there are these shims that we had in here and spacers, and we've got to remove this. The other thing that I'm doing, and this would be, I think, the second or third time I've done this, is you see how this one's nice and installed back here. There's a covering board that's, or not a covering board, but a covering panel that's painted white. So there's one that has been on here twice. I've taken it off twice. And this is the third one. And so I've got to fit this in, and I'm kind of juggling 2 or 3 different projects at once because I'm also doing some painting here. Trying to, at least a couple nights a week, trying to put some paint on just so that we get stuff moving forward. We don't finish the carpentry part of the job and then have to go paint everything afterwards. In order to do this part of the job, I had to set up the table saw with the dado tool in it. That's when I lost part of the table saw in the pile of dust and spent 20 minutes searching for it with a magnet. I made that piece. This is a slightly different piece, but the same concept. And in order to get this wood out of here, I'm borrowing a rabbet plane that I don't own. I have some, but not this kind. This is a larger one from Randy. And Randy's been using his hard for the last couple months, and I had to regrind it, so that's why I say I haven't got a lot done today, because it's all been about just little things that kind of add up, and already it's 2:30 in the afternoon. It has something to do with quality, and at least in my mind, it's got something to do with quality and something to do with working with your hands, like needlepoint as a craft, or sculpture as a craft. Working on boats is a pretty obvious craft to me, but I don't know why what makes it that. I really don't know what it is. I mean, I'd like to hear someone else's answer to that question. It's something to do with working with my hands. That's what craft is. I know this is a craft. I don't think about I'm getting up in the morning and going to do my craft. I just like to be around boats, work on boats, sailboats, and I just haven't thought that far about it.
And I'm 35 years into it. I still like to come to work, and I still can't think of anything I'd rather do. So I feel very lucky that way. I don't know how many people can say that. Being a shipwright is not an old man's profession. It's very physical, and it's very hard work. And I think you have to have a passion for it to do it, because it's also it can be incredibly frustrating. Spending days on one piece of wood to find out it doesn't work and have to do it all over again. I mean, it's you have to. I don't think that you could do this just as a job. None of the guys that work here regard it that way. I mean, they regard it as work, but they all have a passion for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here.
On a boat, it's the joinery and how you put it together. you know, and make sure that all your joints are tight and everything fits, and not just tight looking, but that actually fits. I think I told you about Hollywooding joints, where you have you're gonna bring two pieces of wood together. One way to Hollywood it is, you know, so there's no substance there, but it looks like it's tight from the top because that's where you're looking at it. Okay, that's a Hollywood joint. That's not craft. Okay, there's a lot, and there was a lot of Hollywooding on this boat. The guys that did the repair and who worked on it in the Mediterranean, I mean, they have hacks and whacks everywhere, and so that's, you know, but if you see, you know, like all the joints that Aaron's done on these, I mean, everything fits, and you know, I mean, all the bevels are right, everything is fit the way it should be, and that's, you know, on a boat, any voids like that you leave are going to fill up with water, and so not only is it, you know, stupid, but it's also it's not a very strong job. So learning how to use your tools to effect the best job that you can in the most efficient manner, and you know, without spending an inordinate amount of time, you know. So I mean, you got to weigh all of those things in, you know, craftsmanship.
And you know, whether people are really good at it or not, if they really have the desire to want to do it, they'll be successful in this trade. I mean, when it comes to the craft, not everybody will be doing high-end finishing work. I mean, beautiful interior joinery, but they might be able to do the planking. And that's part of the craft too, and not everybody's going to be at that same level. Everybody can plug into their level or what they like to do. There's a place for everybody in this industry, since we're non-specialists for the most part. It's not an easy term to define.